This summer, my friends and I decided to challenge ourselves and go camping for the first time. We went to Garibaldi Lake and hiked up the Panorama Ridge. This is a video of our whole journey of struggles. Our first struggle began when we almost couldn't go. If you want to do backcountry camping at Garibaldi, make sure you reserve a spot way in advance because summer months tend to fill up very quickly. In the end, we got really lucky and found a last-minute cancellation spot. Our second struggle began on the first day when we were supposed to get to the base of the trail at 11 a.m. But we spent so long repacking everything to fit in our bags that we didn't get there until 2. Not to mention the stuff we had didn't end up fitting anyway, so one of our friends had to carry a massive tent bag in front of him the whole 9 kilometers uphill. That was not a good idea. Hiking up for another 3 hours.
On a run from my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. I swear I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good.
What are they doing? 3 hours and 15 minutes later, we're at the junction between Taylor Meadows and Garibaldi Lake. Another 3 kilometers go.
I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road tonight. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights.
See it! Almost there.
It took only 3 days, but we're finally here. Subscribe and like our YouTube channel.
In all seriousness, it took us almost 5 hours to get to the campground. Usually it takes 3 or less, but you know, we tried. We were all so tired, but the view made it so worth it. The lake looked like someone filled it with crystal clear blue paint. Like, how is it so blue? There are 50 tent pads at the campground and they're first come first serve. Of course, you have to have reserved one first on the BC camping website. We actually found one pretty close to the lake to set up our tent.
Yay!
Yay!
I really want to do a time lapse of setting up, but I don't know.
Here's like our tent pad.
It's not hard, right? We paid $40 for this. Here we are!
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my vlog. We set up the tent.
Yeah, I really wanted to sleep in between both the girls, but I ended up getting the corner spot. So, please pray for me. Add a +1 in the comments. Pray for your boy.
In the heat from a hot California, I forgot how you looked like in rain. I swear I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good.
We were so tired that we basically went to sleep right after dinner. The ground was definitely not comfortable to sleep on, especially because I didn't bring the air mattress or anything. I was also freezing throughout the night, so you can tell I barely slept. But the 2 guys definitely had it worse. Apparently they both heard distant screams in the middle of the night, which sounded like people screaming for their lives. And then they saw shadows with flashlights passing by our tent. Yeah, thank God I wasn't awake for that. Alright, it's 5:30. Good morning. I woke up shivering at like 3 a.m. and I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh my gosh.
But Kara passed out. And those two in there, I don't know, we're having some trouble sleeping. Now we're gonna go eat breakfast. We were about to eat breakfast until this happened. Shit, this is our bag of food. How did these rats get in? Oh my god, all of our
They got into our trash.
We thought we could get away with not hanging our food since we had a really sturdy bag and couldn't find a clip to hang it with, but the rats chewed through that anyway. Thankfully, they only got to our trash and our lunch, and we had enough extra food for another meal.
Keep on driving and driving.
And we're off
Only
to
us two
Panorama
left.
Ridge.
Just us two left. Two of us didn't make it.
We lost 2 people, but that's okay. Let's keep going. Halfway. We can already see it. Alright.
Halfway.
But you got me good. Oh, you got me good.
More kilometers.
We're past the halfway
So
mark.
we're past the halfway mark and it's so beautiful. Now at this point, we had no idea what the challenge ahead of us was going to be. We were going to climb to the highest peak of the mountain ahead of us. Right there. We're way above where we were, which was down there. Air is getting thinner and it's getting colder. Look at that.
We're almost here. Just a little bit more.
You see, the whole time we thought Panorama Ridge was going to be a viewpoint area built out with a nice deck, some benches, and well-paved trails. But we couldn't be further away from the truth. There are only rocks and you barely see any trees, and we're supposed to go
I don't think you can come here in the winter.
right up there. As we were climbing the last kilometer, we stopped several times to question whether or not we were actually on the right path, because we saw nobody else the entire trek. Through halfway or there, we don't even know if this is the right track, but still got so many rocks to climb. We were honestly getting concerned if we were going to be lost in the middle of nowhere with no signal, no map, and just a bunch of rocks. We see people. Oh my god, we're not on a wrong trail. Thankfully, just before we got too astray on the wrong path, people came down and were able to guide us in the right direction. These people came down and told us to go that way. And after a few more ridges of rocks we climbed, we were finally at the peak. But the weather was not in our favor. super cloudy right now. Just gonna wait for the clouds to clear. And so we waited and waited and waited, but the clouds weren't leaving. After an hour of waiting to no avail, we decided to give up and head down to meet our friends. But just as we were about to leave, it finally happened.
My God. Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, look at how blue that is.
On repeat like it is never gonna stop. I can't help myself from feeling all alone. But you got me good. But you got me good.
You know, 16 kilometers later, we finally made it. Now we just got 16 kilometers back down.
So that's where we camped. Right there. Now we're all the way up here. After 4 hours of not knowing what we were hiking so hard for, we finally saw the real Panorama Ridge. And honestly, the lake was just as blue or even bluer than what it looks on screen. I highly encourage you to check out Garibaldi, whether in a day hike or a backcountry trip. Even though the hike is quite challenging and my legs were in pain after, the view and the memories made everything worth it in the end.
We did it.
We did it.
Yay.
I don't drink, by the way, guys.
Hydrated beefs.
And then in like half an hour, we're gonna have to climb down. Ugh.
Take a guess in the comments down below.
It's right here.
Don't be sure to check out our other videos, such as Disneyland trip.